Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTF LOLFTWBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001. More importantly, we are booking the Invasion, and tonight we are going to be running Monday Night Raw. Had a little bit of an absence in videos here. Let me explain the gap. Usually, I like to upload, these videos on their respective days. Raw on Monday, SmackDown Thursday, or excuse me, Nitro Thursdays, Heat Sundays, along with pay-per-views on Sundays. I've had Heat recorded for a while now, and it was uploaded today along with Raw. And I actually had training this past weekend. I don't know if you guys know this. I've said this many times before. I'm in training to actually become a professional wrestler. So I had my training this past weekend. I went down to Tucson, did my training, and I was there, all weekend. So I really couldn't upload Sunday Night Heat on Sunday because I didn't have internet. We were in Tucson. We were at a hotel. And even though the hotel, or not the hotel, excuse me, the motel, whatever, we were at like you know what I'm talking about. It had internet. I didn't have the key for it, though, and technically I wasn't supposed to be there, so I wasn't even about to go up and ask the lady for the key. So I didn't get Heat uploaded, and then after I got, Sunday at training, after I got home, I started developing a cough. I still do have the cough. I wouldn't necessarily call it sick, it's just a nasty cough. You can kind of hear it in my throat. I might sound a little different. I am a little nasally as well. So I've been kind of putting off recording Raw as well there, because trying to, get rid of the cough. And it is starting to die down a little bit. I'm not as sore as I used to be either, so we don't have to hear me like, oh, that hurts, whatever. And hopefully my voice, my nasaliness doesn't get in the way. I also can mute the mic if I ever have to sneeze, anything like that. I just had to get Raw uploaded, and hopefully I'll get Nitro uploaded by Sunday. Tomorrow is my birthday, just saying, January 14th. So I might try to get it up then as well, but we'll see if I can get it booked by then. Either way, that's just the explanation of what happened. To those of you who are watching this in the future, I guess it doesn't matter to you. My apologies for the uselessness. Either way, as I said, we are booking Monday Night Raw tonight, and as you can see, we have a couple things here on the screen. King of the Ring Round 2 is officially underway, and tonight we will see both Edge and Lance Storm and Kurt Angle and Chuck Palumbo compete as they hope to move on into Round 3, which is the semifinals. We might as well just call that King of the Ring semifinals. Is it semifinals? Yeah. The King of the Ring semifinals, which will take place at the pay-per-view, along with the finals, which will be... Shoot. Man, I'm going to... Maybe I can do it. We'll see. I'm going to try to get Nitro up tomorrow on my birthday. And then I'm going to try to get Heat and King of the Ring up on this Sunday to try to make up for all this. I usually don't like putting videos this close. I like to kind of let them sit for a little bit, to, for people to catch up, and that way they don't get behind. But if you guys want to see them, boom, 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 let me know down below. I'll do it. Leave a like on the video. I tell you to do that either way. But either way, we're moving on into King of the Ring Round 2 tonight. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video at all, but we do have the Hall of Fame section officially up, as we will see, as we've already seen, I should say, the Great Muta and Arn Anderson, along with probably his tag team partner. I forget who it is. I think it's Tully Blanchard. I'm not sure. Either way, Cat, please stop. We'll see Arn Anderson inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. And then we have our locker room incidents, which was just K-Quick lifting the locker room when he organized and then won a video game tournament. I don't think I got K-Quick on the card, so I might actually do that real quick. We're going to impromptu get K-Quick on the card. Exclude all booked, please. K-Quick, who is a lower mid-carder. Okay. He's a face, so... Mark Jindrak's not wrestling tonight? Well, K-Quick, aren't you in luck? Or they're going to get a better match tonight anyway. Going to give this a good solid... You know what? Give them 8 minutes. Pre-show. Jindrak. Boom. Save. No. We'll do it in between there. Alright. Hold on. I want to make this make a little sense, so... Let's just do a quick little freestyle segment here. Oh, okay. I was like, did I not put Regal on screen? Not Shane, no. Stasiak. There you go. And we'll just say Regal, Hypes, Power Plant. And I'll explain when we get there. Just for my own sanity. What? Oh, shoot. Stop looking at the card, guys. Alright. And let's switch these matches. I'm sorry, this is just the booker in me. This is just how I would do it. Okay. Even though Stasiak would probably do worse. So, we have our pre-show match. This did better than the last one. It got a D+. C-. Poor pre-show match. Jindrak defeating K-Quick with the Mark of Perfection. And Jindrak had a C-. K-Quick at the D+. No worker improvements. We then go to the C, where Regal's hyping the power plant. Pretty much in this segment, he's just talking about how the power plant is powerful and they can't be stopped. And Mr. Jindrak's already been in action, and he has an important match this Thursday on Nitro that he can't compete again. But Mr. Stasiak hasn't had a match yet. So if any of you peasants, I don't know, want to come out here and challenge him, so on and so forth, just to, hyping them up, showing off their strength. We then go to a C match. Wow, these guys did better. Smart booking. I told you. C match. We go to a poor pre-show match. Sean Stasiak then defeating Al Snow, who, of course, came out and accepted it in 8 minutes, 7 seconds. Snow and Stasiak both had a C-, so they pulled out an average rating here. Not too bad. Good for you both. And then we end off the pre-show with a C+ and a poor pre-show match. Canyon and Hugh Morris defeating The One, Billy Gunn, and Funaki, when Hugh Morris defeated Funaki with the Moonsault. Canyon was head and shoulders above everybody else in terms of ring work. So, Canyon with a B-, not too shabby. Morris with a C, and Funaki and Billy Gunn with a D+. Well, no, Funaki had a D, but still, the fact how Billy Gunn and Funaki are not that far from each other is hilarious. No, we are not turning anybody yet. Yes. So we start off the store. We start off the show with an A-, hell yes, A+ rating. Monday Night Raw opens up with The Undertaker's music playing. Keep rolling. He races down to the ring, down the entryway on his bike. He gets off the bike. He enters the ring with the mic in the hand. He has a steel chain wrapped around his neck. And he says, "So this Sunday at King of the Ring, yours truly has a this is horrible. Has a no-holds-barred match against that big, ugly, nasty bastard, Paul White. Paul, you have no idea what you're in for when you walk your fat ass through these ropes. Because you're going to be trespassing on private property. Paul, do you know what happens to sorry sacks of..." And he says shit, but it gets beeped out. Beep, because they knew it was coming. Because he told them. "Like you when you trespass in my yard? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is beat you to a bloody pulp. With what good old JR likes to call these giant soup bowls." Apparently JR called these this. I didn't know that. Did you guys? I didn't. Interesting. "Then I'm going to smash your head, your big ass head, into these steel steps here. Maybe break your ankle like you did to my brother. After that, maybe bash a couple of these steel chairs over your head. I'm sure the fans won't mind giving up their seats. But that's not all, Paul. I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Not only for me, but for my baby brother who will be watching at home thanks to your big stupid ass. Then I'm going to take this chain, wrap it around these soup bowls, and I'm going to beat you with them. What I'm saying, Paul, is you ain't walking out of King of the Ring. You're going to be taken out on a stretcher. Not only am I going to make your ass famous, but I'm going to teach your dumb ass a lesson in respect. and he throws the mic, and his music plays again as he walks out of the ring, and JR and King are like, strong words from the Undertaker, blah blah blah. Most of that promo is, like, I'd say 90% of that promo is written by my buddy Chris. I always let him write the Undertaker promos because he kind of takes inspiration from the Undertaker. So it's I like him, and I hope you guys like him as well. Chris, I did a little bit of editing. I hope you don't mind. Just a tad bit, of course. Adding his real name in there instead of just calling him Giant, because I wanted to make it a little more personal, and just adding a little bit more color here and there. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed that promo, because I liked it a lot, despite my horrible Undertaker impersonation. It did get the show off to a strong start, and got the crowd hotter and gaining Giant in the Undertaker storyline some more heat. So we go to our next segment, which gets a B rating, which that's pretty good. Holy hell, solid B. Backstage, we see Kurt Angle. He's taping up his wrist. He's getting ready for his round 2 match against Chuck Palumbo later tonight. And that's when both Chuck Palumbo and Stacy Keibler actually walk in. Kurt, quickly stands up. He thinks there's about to be a brawl, so he stands up. The two men get in each other's face. Then Stacy pulls Chuck Palumbo away, and she says, "Easy there, boys. Save it for later." Did you get a good look, Kurt? Did you get a good look at the man who will not only beat you tonight and go on to win the King of the Ring tourney, but also will go on to become a legend under my management? First the King of the Ring, then we get rid of you and the WWF, and then that WCW world title. We'll see you out there, Kurt. And then they just walk out, transitioning, to what we presume to be a Kurt Angle. What we presume to be a commercial break. Also, got the crowd hotter still. Stacy, unfortunately, was a little underwhelming. But before we can go to our commercial break, we have an A rating here. Hell yes, A rating. Backstage, we see The Undertaker. He's in the parking lot, getting on his bike about to leave. And Vince is trying to catch up to him, and he says, "Oh boy, here we go. I don't even have anything to drink, so." "Dead man, wait a minute before you go." And he's catching his breath, and he says, "Look, I heard what you had to say out there about that giant traitor." "Oh, I can do that better. That giant traitor. And after hearing all that, I can't wait until King of the Ring. That brings me to why I'm here. You see, me and my son, even before this war, have always had a hard time agreeing on things. But this match at King of the Ring needs to wait until King of the Ring. You may have noticed that the Giant isn't here right now. Well, that's because my son and I agreed on something for once. And that is that both you and Giant should stay away from each other until King of the Ring. He's not here on Raw. And maybe you should probably take Thursday off." That wasn't the best Vince McMahon in the world, I'll admit. But I didn't have a drink. Give me credit. Oops. That popped up on screen. Taker, he then takes off his sunglasses. He stares right at Vince and he says, "So let me get this straight. You and your bastard son actually managed to agree on something? And you two think I should stay away from Giant until King of the Ring? That's smart. It's probably a good idea." Hold on. We can go down to promo 2 now. What? I had no idea I had those promos there. I guess we'll get to them when we get to them. Is that real? Who's Clark? Oh, never mind. I remember now. Why did I put those down so low? I totally forgot about those promos. Either way, Taker continues saying, "Because the next time I see that jackass, I'm going to bash his skull in. Vince, Sunday's a long time away. Who knows?" And he just starts his bike and he says, "Anything can happen between now and Sunday." And he just drives off as Vince just stands there looking on as we transition into the commercial break. Gained heat for both the Invasion storyline and Undertaker and Giant storyline has progressed as well. Taker developing better performance skills. Good on him. We then come back. What the hell? How did this do that well? A solid B rating? Holy hell. That's good. Jeff and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys, taking on Jerry Lynn and Kid Cash. Don't get excited. Kid Cash is under a one-night deal. But, You know what? He had a C minus. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We'll get to that in a second. So it was an extremely short match, just the way, get Hardys on the card and start off, with the show, that a match that wasn't King of the Ring. Hardy Boys defeating Lynn and Cash when Matt Hardy defeated Kid Cash with the Twist of Fate Swanton Bomb combo. Of course, Jeff and Matt have excellent chemistry, I should say. Matt was off his game, unfortunately, but both Matt and Jeff had a B+, and Kid Cash and Jerry Lynn with C minuses. Not too bad. Not too bad. I might do something with this. Then we go to a B+, Swerve. There was a reason why that match happened. Hardys are celebrating after the win, normal as always. Of course, Steiner brothers then slide into the ring. They begin the brawl with them between, both the Steiners and the Hardys. Jeff and Matt, they try to fight back. Rick and Scott, of course, prove to be too tough as they overpower them, take them down, and they lock them in their respective submission holds, not finishing maneuvers. Submission holds. Lita, of course, is just sitting there begging them to get off of them while the officials, are trying to, pull off the challengers, pull them off from the WCW Tag Team Champions, but they're just wrenching them on there until they finally just let them go. So this is similar to another angle we ran a while back. I forget which tag team it was, but the Steiners, I think it was Canyon and Hugh Morris, actually. The Steiners did the submission holds to them to kind of send the message to the Hardys, and now, with this Sunday being the WCW Tag Team title match between the Steiner brothers and the Hardy brothers, now they're just getting that last oomph in and, pretty much making them pass out to show them that they don't really stand a chance against them this Sunday. So, of course, Scott Steiner came across well, and the storyline between the four brothers, would that be called that? I don't know, the two brother tandems, I guess, gained heat. No worker improvements, though, but a B+. Good on you guys. We then go to a solid B rating. We're getting good, guys. Solid B rating in a decent match. Kurt Angle defeating Chuck Palumbo in 12 minutes and 47 seconds with the Angle Slam. We also had Stacy Keibler to distract Kurt Angle. So despite all the shenanigans, despite Stacy trying to get involved, and despite Chuck Palumbo being, a pretty good adversary, I guess, I don't know if that's the correct word at all. We did have him protected, so Kurt was making him look good. Kurt was still able to come out with the victory and move on to round 3 of the King of the Ring tournament. Now, I'm sure this is starting to get a little predictable to some of you. Just starting to, But either way, so we know Kurt Angle is going into round 2, looking to become the 2-time King of the Ring champion because he won it last year. So Kurt Angle had a B+, and Chuck Palumbo had a C+, so not too bad. No worker improvements. As I was saying before, we did have Chuck Palumbo get protected because I wanted, even though Palumbo was going to lose, I wanted him to look good in losing, so I had Kurt make him look as good as possible. And we even had Stacy, make sure she's known in the match as well. And this was also our storytelling match of the night because I figured it'd be, a good storytelling thing to see. Is Chuck Palumbo, you know what I'm trying to say? Like the storytelling of Chuck Palumbo, pretty much, his rise. His first real test. We then go to a D+ rating. That's unfortunate, but whatever. Terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, Lita defeating one of our developmental divas, Gail Kim, with a submission hold of all things. Interesting. Lita did look good out there. She had an in-ring performance of a C. Gail, unfortunately, with the E-, got a D+, though, not too shabby. Lita's improving in performance. I don't know how, but good on her. That leads us to our next segment, which gets a solid C rating. Match is over. Lita, kind of like the Hardy Boys. I didn't even realize how similar these kind of were. Lita, she's celebrating. That's when Jacqueline, who comes out, she blindsides her from behind. And then she just continues the beat down on the champ, getting on top of her, hitting her with just, lefts, rights over and over. Referees just pull Jacqueline off. And then the refs start checking on Lita. Jacqueline goes over, picks up the women's championship. She starts screaming at Lita that she'll see her Sunday, this is my belt, yada, yada, yada. She then tosses the championship back at Lita, and then she just exit the rings. And I don't know if we've confirmed it, but no, we did. We've already confirmed it. So either way, just more hype between the two that are going to be facing off this Sunday. It did gain heat to the storyline as well, so that's good. We move on to the next segment, which gets a B rating, a solid B, not too shabby. Test and Albert's music hits. Outcome the tag team champions. The video replays, of their title win. They make their way down to the ring. Once in the ring, Teston takes the mic and he says, "Ever since Albert and I started teaming, the goal has always been to become the WWF Tag Team Champions. And a few weeks back, we did exactly that. But as much as we wanted to become champions, we didn't want to become the champions because of underhanded tactics. Now, we're not about to drop these titles, but I'll be damned are we about to walk around back and carry titles we didn't earn. So, Deadman, we know you've got your own issues with the Giant right now. Plus, Kane is still out of action because of that giant ass. So we'll be waiting for you too when you're 100 and ready. But as far as tonight, if any of you teams back there, WWF or WCW, want to step up and try to take these titles from us, well, we dare you." That's when Chronic's music hits, and out they come when Brian Clark takes the mic, and Brian Clark then says, "Oh, you're going to regret this. While the Steiners are too busy taking care of those puny little daredevils, the Hardy Boys, and getting the WCW their tag team gold back, we're going to take those titles from you tonight, and WCW will have all the gold." So just a pretty generic promo in general, but Chronic is going to be challenging Test and Albert in what will be probably a hard-hitting match. Unfortunately, Brian Clark underperformed, but that's okay. The announcing did their job. So we move on to the next segment, which gets another solid B. Everyone is on their game, nerds and geeks. This is a good episode. Solid B rating and a decent match. Test and Albert. Okay, I was about to say, did I not put the titles on the line? Test and Albert defeat Chronic in 9 minutes 48 seconds when Test defeated Brian Adams with the pump handle slam, and TNA make their first defense of the WWF World Tag Team titles. Not enough selling, unfortunately. JR and Jerry Lawler, of course, worked the announcer table well. Albert and Test both with the solid B performances. Adams with a C, and Clark with the C-. No worker improvements, unfortunately. We then go to a C+ rating, and Michael Cole is backstage with Edge, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, Edge." That's when Edge walks into the shot, and he says, "Edge, later tonight, you face your rival Lance Storm in round 2 of King of the Ring. And as Lance Storm has been so eager to point out, in his mind, he has your number. Any concerns going into your match?" Edge then responds, "Cole, Sir Lancelot must be living in Camelot if he thinks he has my number. Sure, he's beaten me one time, but I've beaten him once too. So in my eyes, that makes us even. And he may have been able to walk away still the Canadian champion after me. After me and him win at it, he won't be walking into King of the Ring this Sunday. Because tonight, I end this stupid feud with him once and for all." And C+, a little underwhelming. I kind of would expect a B- at least from an Edge promo. But Michael Cole was also in this promo, so he probably brought it down a little bit despite not giving us the road agent report notification, I guess. Either way, Edge just hyping up his match against Lance Storm tonight. And we go on to what is going to be the main event, nerds and geeks. B rating in a decent match. Edge defeating Lance Storm in 15 minutes, 15 seconds with the spear, ending the feud between him and Lance Storm, and going off with the victory. You got a solid B rating. Edge had a B-, unfortunately. Lance Storm with a B. No worker improvements. So we go to road agent reports here. I forgot to mention this in the TNA Chronic match, but that was our Wild Brawl match of the night. So I had them call this in the ring. The always great Nick Mann left me a great comment, and I never knew this myself. But anybody with, I think he said it was like a 60 and above in psychology, usually can call matches in the ring themselves. And Edge didn't. He had a B, and I'm assuming that just means an 80. And Lance Storm, of course, had great psychology as well. So I let them call this in the ring, and didn't hurt. Had it be open, go out for a great bout, good match all in general. Edge defeats Lance Storm, and he too moves on to the semifinals in the King of the Ring tournament. They won't be facing Kurt Angle. We'll find out their opponents on Nitro. No worker improvements, as I said before. So we end off the show with an A-star. It's the contract signing between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Vince McMahon, he's standing in the ring with the mic in hand, and he says, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the contract signing for the no-holds-barred match." That's not true. There's no no-holds-barred stipulation. I don't know. That's Undertaker. For the WWF World Title match between the champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the challenger, Triple H. Now, I know that we're at war right now, and most of my focus has been on Shane and his invaders, but a very personal feud has been going on between these two former partners. So without further ado, let's bring them out. That's when Triple H and Stephanie, they make their way out to the ring first. Austin following a couple minutes after. Once everyone's in the ring, Triple H takes the contract, he looks it over, he signs it. Austin looks the contract over, and that's when Triple H chimes in while he's looking it over, and he says, "You know that's it, right? Once you sign that contract, you're kissing your little title goodbye. Because at the King of the Ring, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to end your career just like I did Rhino. And there will be no Deborah and no Rhino there to bail you out this time." Austin then smiles and he says, "It's a lot of work with all three of these voices in this one segment. I really should have got a drink. But I bet Stephanie's going to be out there. You know, Hunter, for as much crap as you like to give me for my wife or my protege coming to my aid, you sure love to use your wife to get everything you want. Must be nice being married to the boss's daughter. No, really, it must be a real treat. Because despite how many times I whoop your ass, you somehow keep getting another title shot." And then Austin signs the contract and he says, "Well, there you go. It's official. Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at the King of the Ring. But old Stone Cold don't feel like wait." But before he can even say, he doesn't even say waiting. He just tosses the mic behind him. Doesn't even finish his sentence. He jumps over the table and starts brawling with Triple H. And they're just brawling with each other. Security starts coming in. They separate them, pull them apart, holding them apart from each other to end off the show. While JR and King are saying, "We'll see this hatred, fume over at King of the Ring or whatever." So Stephanie, of course, have great chemistry with Triple H. Jerry Lawler and JR were pretty weak. That's always a surprise to me. Triple H came across well. Austin came out of this looking excellent. And the storyline gained heat. We end off the show to a B+. Really? A B+? That's surprising. I mean, we started off and ended with A stars. I thought we would have got an A. I'm not going to lie. A B+. Huh. I mean, it's not bad, but I really thought we were going to get that A. We did increase our popularity in like 9 regions or something, so. And we got fantastic reviews. Shigeo Okumaru won the AGPW Television Championship last night. Oh, it got vacated, unfortunately. Look at that. Koro Ito is on the rise, and James Mitchell is apparently the best manager in the world today. Have we shortlisted him? Yes, we did. Okay. Smart man. K-Quick. My momentum is in the toilet. You need to book me stronger for a while, or I'll be dead in the water. Okay, whatever. Although he's like on our board or something. Oh, I was like, what is this? Scott Steiner never has anything good to say about anybody. Sean Stasiak has poor in-ring psychology. The kid is probably not worth keeping around. That was more Vince Russo, but still. Alright then, Nerds and Geeks. Well, that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. And I will see you guys for WCW Nitro on my birthday. So until then, have a good day.